Hello everyone and welcome to Blog Runner Everything, and welcome back to the channel and a match review as we look at how FC Barcelona once again had their defense to blame for throwing away 3 points at the Camp Nou against Cadiz this time. Draw sees Barcelona slip down to third place on the table as the Catalans failed to capitalize on Atletico Madrid's defeat to Levante on Saturday night. So as we normally do with match previews, we'll look at how the teams lined up, then talk about Barcelona's performance and discuss negatives and positives from the performance, as well as pick the man of the match. A quick reminder to hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video so you can keep up with all the Barcelona match reviews on this channel. Let's go ahead and start by looking at the tactical setup from both teams. Now, a brief preface. Albert Einstein once said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Well, it was very much a case of doing the same thing over and over as Koeman elected to field the same starting 11 with no alterations as he did in the 4-1 defeat to PSG. I wonder if things went different. Barcelona set up with a 4-3-3 with the following personnel: Marc-Andre ter Stegen, Serginho Dest, Gerard Piqué, Clément Lenglet, Jordi Alba, Pedri, Busquets, De Jong, and Griezmann, Messi and Dembélé up front. Cadiz on the other hand set up with a 4-1-4-1 formation with Ledesma in goal, Isa, Mauro, Fali, Espina in a back four with Garrido ahead of them, and then Salvi, Sobrino, Pereira and Jairo ahead of him, with Alvaro Negredo leading the line. Let's now briefly look at how Barcelona performed in this game, and I will be very terse with my summary of the performance. The possession stats and likes tell a majority of the story of how this game played out for Barcelona. Barca dominated the game from start to finish and should have come out of the encounter with more than the one goal scored via a Lionel Messi penalty just before the half-hour mark of the game. The penalty was won by some clever work on the part of Pedri as he nicked the ball just ahead of a Cadiz defender who then clattered into it. The rest of the first half and the second half that came after was a tale of profligacy in front of goal and steely goalkeeping once again by Jeremías Ledesma. Barcelona did score twice more before the halftime interval, but both goals were ruled out correctly, I should add, for offside to ensure that the score at the break remained 1-0. The second half followed much of a similar pattern to the first half in that Barcelona dominated and had plenty of chances to put the game to bed but just could not find the target. Dembélé in particular had a strong showing on the day and was unfortunate to not wind up on the score sheet. However, as fate would have it, when you continue to rely on players who are error prone, it's only a matter of time before that comes back to bite you, and as the second half was winding down, Cadiz played a hopeful ball into the box, and in an absent-minded feat, Clément Lenglet threw a lazy foot at the ball and caught a Cadiz attacker with his flailing leg in his penalty box, I should add. The referee pointed to the spot, Cadiz dispatched the spot kick, and just like that, 3 points turned to 1 as the match ended 1-1. With that, I'll now move on to my negatives and positives from this game. As usual, I'll begin with the negatives. There are really only 2 things worth pointing out as negatives from this match, and they are the following. The first was wasteful finishing. Once again, we just could not put more than 1 goal past Ledesma in the Cadiz goal, and this was a goalkeeper who has conceded 15 in his last 5 games. Yet somehow Barcelona could only score past him once, and that 1 goal just so happened to have been a penalty. So yes, a very disappointing showing from our attackers, mind you. I should add, this is now 2 consecutive games that Barcelona have failed to score a goal from open play, because the goal they scored against PSG, yep, that was a penalty as well. My second and final negative was good old Mr. Ronald Koeman. Now, in my years watching Barcelona, I do not think that I have seen a centre-back have as terrible a season as the one Clément Lenglet is having. It's not even that he is the least talented centre-back I have seen play for us. I mean, Chigrinsky has a case there, but this season he has been unbelievably shocking, giving away 3 penalties all on his own. That's more than what other teams have actually given away as a whole. But wait, why are we talking about Lenglet when you just said Koeman is the negative, you might be thinking? Well, it all comes down to a simple truth. Lenglet does not pick himself. Koeman picks Lenglet. He picks him ahead of Mingueza and Umtiti despite knowing the fact that Longley has been a walking liability consistently all season long. At the beginning of the video, I started out by talking about how Einstein defined insanity. Koeman keeps picking a player who should be on sabbatical and expecting that this guy is going to play like Prime Puyo. He refuses to shuffle around a team that looked tired in that second half against PSG, but he expects them to be sharp and on point today. I'm not going to go on the team selection thing too much because players like Griezmann, Busquets and Alba should have really sat this one out, but it's this stubborn reliance on certain players who are really damaged goods that is ultimately killing Barcelona in games, and there's no one else to point a finger at other than Ronald Koeman. Now, this is where I would usually move on to the positives, but I just could not think of anything worth mentioning, to be honest. So I'm going to talk about the man of the match, and it was only going to be between two Argentines today. The one between the sticks for Cadiz and the one wearing the armband for Barcelona. Last time out, it was the Cadiz man that I picked out as the man of the match, and this time he just barely misses out. There's not really that much Messi could have done differently, change the outcome of this encounter, but he did enough to be the standout player for either side, so he is the Blaugrana Everything man of the match. Well, that does it for my match review, ladies and gentlemen. What were your thoughts on the match? Who was your man of the match? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day and Forza Barca.